Welcome to the Augmentation of Man. I'm Renee Miller,
Kent.
and today we're going to be talking about,
The ideologies have overtaken the self.
and so uh, I think it's the ideologies have overtaken the higher self,
No,
is what the guide was saying.
no, I think all ideologies, people have lost their ID of who they are
Mhm.
totally,
Yeah.
including the self and the higher self. But the self, since people have lost their ID of who they are, what they are, they've lost their self.
So we have been contemplating this lesson for the past week, given the events of a week or so ago. And we don't want to take away from the gravity of the event, but we wanted to consult with our spiritual guides. Kent is a channeler. He is able to go into a deep trance and communicate telepathically with these higher beings called the ancients. So we
So
wanted to have a clear understanding of
why?
what was happening on a spiritual level from a higher spiritual mentor and how they view it on the spiritual side. And so we're going to go into that and more deeper. And it has to do with ideologies. And it also we're going to go back into some readings that we got several years back and tie it all together. So stick with us till the end. Um, it'll bring forth a new, profound understanding of what's happening today and why we're going to have 15 years of chaos.
There are many ideologies in this world,
Mhm.
evidently. So
There's a
we
lot
have,
of ideology.
we have to come to a point where there's more loyalty. We have come to a point where there's more loyalty to our team, whatever the team is,
Right.
than we have to truth.
Yeah, and this is part of it. We aren't critical thinkers anymore. So these ideologies are replacing the truth, they're replacing who we are as a soul. And
As a
we're
human,
identifying
yeah.
with these ideologies in our human state, which is not our natural state.
So we are listening to all kinds of chatter. Each ideology is listening to the chatter around them, which supports their ideologies. They
Mhm.
don't go outside that chatter. And
And
so
instead
spiritual,
of listening to their inner
right,
voice.
spiritual guides told us the higher self is dissolving quickly.
Mhm.
Ideologies have overtaken the self in most of humankind.
And I want to interject here. We occasionally listen to other channelers and other spiritual teachers, and many of them are saying how quickly humanity is moving forward. Um, I have to say that we have asked our guides, and true for a small group of people, most of humanity is, like Kent said, the meditation was the higher self is dissolving quickly because the ideologies have replaced the higher self and are overcoming the
Overtaken the
higher self.
self.
So,
Yes.
and to validate that statement, because I don't want to take away from the feeling of feeling, like, oh, we're progressing, but just look at our world today. You can't deny that our world is really falling apart and really in bad shape.
Well, ideology has divided the whole world
Mhm.
totally. And this division cannot exist. Humanity cannot exist with this division.
Right. And so this is going to set the stage for the next years until about the 2030. where we're going to have a world that is full of chaos because all these ideologies are coming to clash.
And no side is right or wrong. It's their ideologies that's keeping them finding out from who they really are.
And finding the
And they
truth.
don't want to accept it, right? So they don't find the truth.
Yeah. And so we're going to get into how we can correct that toward the end. I do want to say that we need to kind of look at life from the point of view that this is temporary field we're in. It is an experiential learning field that we chose to come here to experience in order to learn through our experiences, to further our understanding and our consciousness and our wisdom.
Well, what humankind has done in the last 50 years, 70 years, they quit communicating.
Mm-hmm.
They only communicate within their ideology group or team.
Mm-hmm.
But they no longer communicate with anyone outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
They shut them away, push them aside,
Shut them
and
down.
they will not listen
Mm-hmm.
to somebody else who has a different
Viewpoint.
a different slant on different
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah.
And because their ideology, no matter what it is, their ideology is correct.
Yeah.
And so
people,
mankind is
yeah.
completely shut down the communication process.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, is that people won't even like look at another TV channel for fear that somebody might find out that they even were looking at that channel just to see what it's about.
Yeah,
So this is not helping society. What we need to do is to start bridging the gap, start opening our minds, because our minds have been closed down and we put ourselves in a box. So we cannot possibly grow in our consciousness, grow in our understanding of each other, unless we take away these obstacles that are keeping us divided.
In reality, no one has the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But they think they do. And
Everyone thinks they do,
we
but
would
they
learn
don't.
a lot more if we started talking and communicating with one another on a listening
Mm-hmm.
to each side.
Yeah.
And you don't have to agree or you don't have to disagree, but listen what the other side says.
Respectfully.
Yes.
And we would have a much more peaceful world. But right now, we have a world that is falling apart and it's becoming extremely violent because we are unwilling to tolerate another point of view or another ideology. And in reality, when we pass from this world back into the spirit realm, we're not a Democrat, we're not a Republican,
We're not independent.
we're not a
Yeah,
Christian,
we're not an
a
Islamist.
Muslim.
Yeah,
We're not any of that. This is all an illusion here. It's not real. It's only in our minds. So on the other side, what we have is we're absorbing information, we're learning, we're growing, we're traveling around the universe and exploring. So we're not sitting on a cloud. We're not sitting with Jesus when we pass from this world. We are doing other things that further our conscious evolution.
But we honor the Creator.
That's right.
And this is the Creator,
the only one true the truth. The only truth is God, that is all that was, all that is, and all that will be.
And you take all the different religions of the world,
Mhm.
and most all of them believe in the Creator. And then there's all these sections underneath, divisions. But they all have what we call God, but we also call the Creator of the cosmos.
Yes.
creator of all that is, all that was, and all that will be. So, in December 20th, 2014, in a meditation, we were told that there would be approximately 15 years of human created chaos. The meaning of chaos, of human,
They called it the meaningless chaos of human
finality.
finality. So is that we are inevitably reaching this point of chaos
Yeah.
because of our rigid ideologies. And is there no other choice for us?
So
But they have said, yes, there is a choice, but we'll get to this
But
because this is interesting.
yeah, they also said misery attainable on this sphere by human ideology.
So we're making ourselves miserable.
Correct. So aptitude, the ability of change still exists at the human level.
And this was a direct quote.
Yeah, this was a
So,
direct quote from
aptitudes of change still exist at the human
Yeah.
level, but this was back in 2014.
Yeah.
Is that still true today?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So humanity is going to start feeling the squeeze amidst self-clarification. So what does that mean? It is when we start to realize who we are at the soul level. And the self or the higher self is part of the soul that governs our, steers us on our path and governs our experiences for further understanding.
Well, their exact wording was humanity brings this forward.
We're doing it to ourselves.
What we're doing, talking about us, what we're doing ourselves. Able to change, but desirable to self-annihilation. To prove ideologies useless for self-clarification.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing this.
We're doing it to ourselves. We can change on our own, but we're preferring to take the path of self-annihilation to prove to ourselves that ideologies are useless when it comes to understanding the soul.
And there can be new things coming in, new inspirational ideas. Okay, so when there'll be others that'll disdain for truth. They don't want the truth.
Yeah. So in the future, we will have a reconnection with the higher self. And from there, then we can have a reconnection to communicate telepathically with these higher beings who will bring forth the truth.
Right, the meaning of self-clarification.
And the meaning of self-clarification is to understand who you are at the soul level. Who am I as a soul?
Yeah.
And then the soul, when that happens, starts to feed back information that the soul has stored that has limited us on this plane from access to that stored information because we don't want it to interfere with our current lessons. Okay. And so there will come a time when you will have people who start to have that reconnection, but then you will have others who will have disdainment over that and the truth that's coming forward.
So on January the 9th, 2024, received a meditation, and it's quoted, I'm quoting what they told me, reliance on others will not exist. A perplexing or puzzling ideology will come forth to renew itself upon humanity. The takeover of humanity, the human race, a conflict of enormous size will plague the human race.
So this is reliance on others will not exist. And is it that we are so divided?
Can we see it right now?
Or is it that they're saying that this is something that we have to do on our own within our own self.
So nobody relies, because they don't communicate with each other. Nobody relies on hardly a neighbor. You can hardly get a neighbor to even help you if you need help doing something. But there are those still that you can communicate with.
So they're saying this perplexing ideology or a puzzling ideology will come forth and renew itself upon humanity. Okay, so there's something that's very puzzling that's going to start occurring. All of a sudden, there's going to be this renewal within humanity, something coming forth that existed a long time ago that does not exist today. And it will take over humanity. And then it's going to cause this conflict of enormous size that will plague the human race. It's going to
I wonder
put,
if we see the beginning of it.
and so I think what they're saying is that there's going to be some people who start to they're starting to coalesce with their higher self, and they're starting to have a new understanding coming forward. Then you have others who that is not happening to, and so you have a clash of ideologies that's going to be enormous and plague the human race.
Right now, there is a conflict around unnatural law that circumvents the truth.
Mhm.
It is the circumvention
Circumvention.
of all the natural laws. They're circumventing all natural laws, including endorsement of a changing of genders.
And
all natural laws are being
circumvent.
dissolved.
Yeah. And so what we've been taught is that within the universe, and there's lots of beings out there, lots and lots of different beings. And there's beings here that are not human. There's beings that are coming and arriving that are going to be here to help us. And so within the universe, there are universal laws that must be adhered to in order to maintain order within the universe. A subset of universal laws is natural laws. And we must adhere to the natural laws, because when we don't, things start to fall apart.
Okay, well, a consequence to come. There's going to be consequences to what humans have acted. A divine ordering. That's very.
It's coming from the top. It's coming from the
top.
creator.
So in November the 8th of 2024, I got meditation. Puzzling ideologies are now developing, responding to a coagulation of various atmospheric energies coursing toward Earth. It is an enhancement technology relative to understanding the cosmos. Its purpose to reinstate natural law.
So in January of last year, you were told that this perplexing ideology would be coming forth. And then, so we're always told when this energy is setting forth, but we don't see it materialize for several months and sometimes a year or so later. So we're told it's coming, but it doesn't actually become visible or manifest in our world until months later. And so by November of last year, they said these perplexing ideologies are now developing, responding to a coming together of various atmospheric energies that is being directed right at Earth. And it is an enhancement technology, they're calling it, relative to understanding the cosmos. And I have to say, I would think that they're talking about understanding the universal laws that govern
we
the
have,
cosmos.
right, we have to in order to be part of the cosmos.
And
But
that
but
includes natural law.
natural law is going to be reinstated. So with that, humankind they said humankind will diminish on this plane. In other words, on Earth.
So
So
our activities will be pushed down. Humanity, we've been told the population will go through a great decline.
right.
And I imagine they didn't tell us exactly how that was going to look, but they have told us there's going to be a lot of war, and we're going to have all this chaos and clash of ideologies.
When ideologies shift, I hope it shifts to get rid of the ego.
Yeah. So
I
you're
don't know.
jumping forward, and it's going to take place at a future time when this energy stream that's coming in is bringing forth this perplexing ideology. It's instilling it, or it's bringing it about within people, but it's not going to affect everyone.
No, it isn't. But we've already been told that the higher self again is dissolving quickly. So ideologies have overtaken the higher self and the self.
In humankind.
Most of humankind.
Mhm.
Explosive events are guaranteed. Perplexing situation for most.
Mhm.
They don't understand. So ideologies cannot exist in righteous behavior. Advanced undertaking is in order.
Now, I would have to
That
say,
was given to me by the mentors.
yes. So that's a quote from the mentors. Advanced undertaking is in order. They are working to turn this around for us, okay? But we've got to work on our end too.
Yeah,
And
you got
and I wanted to say they said righteous behavior. So ideologies cannot exist in righteous behavior. This is not to be taken, the word righteous, in a religious way.
no. So people like Charlie Kirk and Martin Luther King and different people that have been assassinated, they're all good humans, basically good humans, but they were all misunderstood
Mhm.
because there was no communication.
And this was exactly when we had the opportunity to speak with one of our spiritual guides and ask them, can you help us to understand what is going on here with this assassination of Charlie Kirk? And they said he was a good human, but he was misunderstood. So, what do we do to turn this around? How can we consciously, if we know that these ideologies are going to cause an enormous clash, enormous chaos, how can we consciously work to turn this
We've got to
around?
let them play out. They have to play out to get humankind, to understand.
Mhm. So, some of these lessons that we have to go through, unfortunately, they're the lessons of hard knocks. So there's different ways we can learn. We can learn through other people and observing the trials that they go through and say, you know what, I'm not going to choose to do that because so and so took that road and I don't want to experience it.
All sides.
You can watch it and learn from it. But we have chosen the path of hard knocks.
The thing is, because all sides are at fault in this.
Yes, because nobody is right. Nobody has the truth. We have bits of truth, and that's it. When we ask our guides for understanding about something, it is never, the answer we get is never about what we think it is. It is always something more profound and something we never would have thought of.
Yeah. So
So we have to take that and go, okay, humanity is looking at everything that's playing out with distorted glasses, and we don't have the truth. So this is part of where we're going, is to realize nobody has the truth. And we've got to start digging deeper.
Yeah, ideologies is not going to bring unification at all, or
No,
unification of understanding. It's not, ideologies is not going to do that. It's not going to bring any kind of
because it'll keep us divided
unification, right? So our mentor said, Earth is quarantined
at this
at
time.
this time.
And so this week I asked, when we finally got communication, because they're watching from above. Physical beings, non-physical beings, they're watching everything that's taking place here and how humanity is responding to these events and how our understanding is evolving or not evolving. And so they don't want what is happening here now, all this chaos puts off vibrations. So our collective vibrations that we're emitting from Earth has a capacity to go out and affect the rest of the universe. Earth is being quarantined at this time. And when I asked why, they said that humanity is not ready to be part of the configuration of the cosmos, meaning that we're in too much chaos to even think about our reconnection with extraterrestrial beings. We have to let our ideologies come to a point where we're pushing ourselves to self-annihilation before we realize maybe it's not a good thing. And then we'll be open
Yeah.
to somebody with new ideas
Yeah.
that are completely foreign to
We've
us.
got to get rid of our ego, quit thinking of ourselves. We got to think outside of ourselves. You think outside of our own bodies, because our own bodies is really irrelevant in
Yeah.
this. So
Mhm.
we must yield to our inner thinking,
Inner voice.
which will eventually happen. Right now, it's not.
Mm-mm.
So beings with abundance of knowledge and understanding are coming, which you already stated. They will preserve the remainder of the human population.
And
Which
see,
tells us something.
right, and we've been told that the human population is going to decrease significantly. So once we get to that point of we realize we're destroying each other, and
These lessons are going to be hard.
it's going to be tough. They have told us you cannot conceive how difficult it is going to be. That is how tough it's going to be.
But
This is not a blink of an eye and everything shifts to,
No,
some
no,
beautiful
we're not.
utopia. It's
Yeah.
not going to be
We've
that
got to
way.
learn to accept these hard knocks
Mhm.
and learn from them. That's the only way humankind is going to survive.
So the ones who were left standing after all of this are the ones that are going to be taken in by these extraterrestrials and taught the correct way of thinking,
The natural
and
laws of the
taught the
cosmos.
natural laws, taught the universal laws. And unfortunately, it's only going to be 1% of the population that exists today.
So we
Unfortunately.
have to break away from past belief systems. So most of those past belief systems are all false,
Mhm.
which we can't have. The only hard and fast truth is the Creator.
Mhm.
Said Creator, God. We call God. Other people call the Creator Allah, etc. But
We're all talking about the
right, we're all
same.
talking about the same Creator
Mhm.
throughout the universe.
The universe calls it creator.
Yeah. So you gotta listen. You gotta listen to everything. bringing in a self. Respectfully, listen to others. You don't have to agree or disagree, but respect where they're coming from. And just say, I respectfully disagree, or I respectfully agree.
Mhm.
And let it go at that. You do not have to
Or explain your point of
take up
view.
violence
Mhm.
because you don't like somebody else's view.
And I think that, that's what Charlie Kirk was trying to teach us, was to be able to communicate with each other, communication of ideas, where
Because you
we
learn.
have, through our ideologies, we have associated who we are with our ideology, which is not correct.
Yeah.
And so when somebody disagrees with you, you feel like it is an attack on you and your
But
persona.
that's your ideologies.
But
playing
it's
on
really,
you and your ego.
it's really talking about your ideology, which is just an idea.
Yeah. So you've got to learn to communicate if you want to learn more knowledge and more understanding. And to do that,
And to open your mind
right,
and
open
listen.
your mind and listen.
Mhm.
So
Now,
events have to play out.
they do. I wanted to mention that so many people, this came to my realization this week, is that, is particularly with the younger group, they're getting their news feed off of 30-second clips that were part of a larger conversation. And so what happens is that they're reacting to this 30-second clip
Taken out of context.
that was taken out of context for whatever reason, either to manipulate your thinking or just for clickbait. What we have to do is go back to the original full-length discussion and see what they were talking about, because so many times these little clips are taken out of context, and it's creating a lot more chaos because of misunderstandings.
Yeah. For instance, somebody says, well, I don't like my neighbor because when they cook, it makes me very hungry because it smells so good. And they just take out the part that says, I don't like my neighbor.
Mhm.
You don't get the whole story.
Yeah. And this happens a lot. And so we need to do our own research, and we need to dig deeper and find out what was the entirety of that story. Start enriching yourself with knowledge and understanding, because that's where humanity is going.
Yeah.
We're supposed to move into a more intellectual and more spiritual state with other higher abilities like telepathy, like being able to do things that we never were able to do before, that seem so mystical or supernatural. But we have the capacity to do that if we just learn.
Yeah. And don't forget, we are those of the humankind, all the peoples of the humankind. Not talking about those outside of Earth that have
Mhm.
come in, but humankind. We are all brothers and sisters together.
Mhm.
I don't care what your slant is, what your race is, what your degrees are. It makes no difference. If you look at, we're all brothers and sisters, and the Creator did not put, well, you're dominant over this particular race or that particular race. That was
Or you're
never
a more
said.
favored race, because
Yeah,
that is another
that-
misunderstanding.
Yeah, nobody is favored.
There is no favored race.
So you've got to learn this. Otherwise, humanity will cease to exist because the cosmos cannot put up with our
They will not tolerate it.
period.
Yeah. And you won't become a part of that universal connection unless you let all of that
So
go.
it's all up
Because
to us now.
and here's another lesson. This happened years ago. I asked, why are there all these different races on Earth? And the answer was, because you have to first learn how to get along with each other
Mhm.
before you learn how to get along with somebody who looks a lot different than you.
Yes. And that's you're going to be shown that. So
Yeah.
it is up to you. It is up to all of us.
And we can't
Whether-
be arrogant either.
Whether
So,
we're going to survive or not.
when that time comes, when this reconnection with extraterrestrials happens and they are here to help, forget all the Hollywood, they're here to do harm. That is
Hollywood,
not true. There is not going to be any agenda that is to harm humanity. They are here to help us, and we desperately need it.
Yeah.
And so they deserve our respect because they are higher beings.
They're more advanced.
They're very advanced. They have a whole lot more understanding than we have. And so we have to swallow our pride and our ego and get rid of the arrogance, because guess what? Humanity is one of the dumbest cultures in all of creation.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, but it's true.
These other entities are probably went through this many
Billions of years ago. Yeah.
Either thousands or
Yeah.
100,000 or a million years ago. They've already gone through this. They've learned from this.
Mm-hmm. And so we have to give them our respect, and we have to open our minds, because we're going to learn a whole different way of thinking. And it's going to be really awesome. I mean, just the communications that we get, it gives you an entirely different understanding that is it really just opens your mind and makes you see everything in a more connected way.
Yeah. So once you want to learn more understanding and you gain more wisdom, then you will see humankind as brothers and sisters, not as enemies or aggressive foes
Mhm.
or anything of that nature.
Mhm.
Then you begin to understand. And with that understanding comes the perfect truth.
Mhm. And or a more perfect truth,
Yes.
because it's like an onion. We're just peeling
Keep pulling back the
layers
layer.
off. And right now
So-
we're on this skin that's like all cracked and falling apart.
So with all this that we've said, please listen to us, because it is up to humanity whether we are going to survive the short coming years.
Yeah, so about 2030 is when, we should start to have things settled down.
We should,
Um,
but that's a choice.
give
That's
or
up to
take.
the humanity. If
Absolutely.
we do not,
Mhm.
then humanity will cease to exist like a dinosaur.
So for now, the ideologies have to play out in order for us to come to that point where we're ready to let them go and let it extinguish.
With that, thanks for being on this journey with us
Yes.
and trying to explain what is really happening out there.
We hope to bring more understanding to you. Please subscribe so that you can have that advantage of what's coming, how to prepare, and to be able to take advantage of this profound understanding that we're given, that we're sharing, and we do it freely. We don't charge, we don't make money, we don't have money coming off of our YouTube. We do have two books, and you want to grab one of them, the Augmentation of Man series, and the authors are the ancients and professors of higher realms of understanding. This is one of them. They're on Amazon. We make like, I don't know, 20 cents, something ridiculous off of them.
But we want people to be holstered with good information that they can prepare for the coming things, the coming events.
Yes. So peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment, and pass this on. Everybody needs to hear it.
Okay.
Thank you.